partner with.
And then what was that demo day experience like?
Well, we felt great internally as a team where we answered our own questions, those 3 questions, because, to us, the most important thing was this project worth continuing? Forgetting about, the circumstance of demo day or how awesome of an opportunity it was to get in front of investors, can we prove to ourselves that this is worth continuing? The answer was yes. Demo day, however, was not successful. I don't know exactly where we stacked ranked that day, but we certainly weren't amongst the favorites. And it was really tough. I mean, the company almost went out of business because, we didn't raise a lot of money from Y Combinator with the initial grant, and so we were looking for seed financing, and we were a couple weeks away from going to zero. I think at the time people just weren't sure if this would be a business. Yes, we had great metrics. Yes, we had positive evidence, to each side of our marketplace in terms of thinking about whether or not they would participate. But it was 10 weeks of data. And so at the end of the day, if you were an investor looking at DoorDash on demo day or anywhere near demo day, it would be a conviction bet. It'd be a conviction bet on the team, on that there would be a potential market. I think one of the things people missed early on was that DoorDash was really in the business of creating a market. There were 20,000 maybe restaurants offering delivery at the time, and that's who incumbents would work with, the Grubhubs or the Seamlesses. They would partner with these restaurants that had their own delivery fleet, and they would, just send them an order, and the restaurants would complete the deliveries themselves. But the question we always asked was, if you could build a last mile logistics network for every retailer, well, could you open up everybody else? There's about rough math, 1 million restaurants in the US, only 20,000 of them offer delivery. What would happen if you could enable the other 980,000 to do it?
So DoorDash actually almost died, I guess, after a Stanford football game in the fall of 2013.
We did.
Can you tell that story?
Yeah, so it was the first Saturday home game for Stanford football. And it was at an awkward time where after the ending of the game, everybody in Palo Alto decided to order DoorDash for restaurant delivery.
Normally a good thing?
Normally a great thing. No one usually complains of too much demand, except when you have no ability to fulfill the demand or to shut off, the website that kept receiving these orders when you didn't have enough drivers on the road. So that became the complication. What ended up happening was every delivery was at least an hour late, probably more like an hour and a half. It was terrible. And we also at the time, or I at the time, could not raise any seed financing. So you got the cash going to zero. You have hundreds of customers very upset because they either received cold food or received very, very late deliveries. I remember that night, maybe 9 or 10 p.m., my co-founders and I looking at what the refund cost would be, because we thought the right thing to do would be to refund everybody. But that would take away about 40% of the bank account, which was already quite low. We took maybe 10 seconds to make the decision to refund everybody. We ended up staying up that night,